Hey everyone, Happy Dude here. Now I tried FSR 4.1 in Resident Evil Requiem and it works like a charm. So now I'm curious to see how it works in some older titles that were heavy hitters back in the day. So let's start with Cyberpunk. So the game is updated to the latest version and so is my 9070 XT. And you can see that on the upscaler it's using FSR 3.0, but it's actually FSR 3.1, but for some weird reason you can't see it in the menu of Cyberpunk. It's a bit glitchy. And also FSR 4.1 is injected, but you can't see it. Ray tracing is on medium, and all the other settings are on high, and it's on a resolution of 4K, and upscaling is on quality mode and no frame generation. So let's see how it performs in the game itself. And sorry for the weird colors, I recorded it in HDR mode and that doesn't work that well in my editing program and onto YouTube. But anyway, just under 60 FPS, that's the result here that you get with ray tracing enabled on a 9070 XT. So not that bad, especially without frame generation. So now let's turn on path tracing and see if we get any difference in the quality of lighting. So when you turn that on, ray tracing turns off automatically. I don't know why that is, but the game does it. And now, wow, that really tanked the FPS. Look at that. It's really choppy. Wow. Under 30 FPS. And honestly, it looks exactly the same. All the reflections are the same, the lighting is the same, the shadows are the same. Maybe you can see some difference when you really zoom in, but when you're playing, you're not really going to see any difference. Let me turn ray tracing on, and then we can do a side-by-side comparison. So here it is. On the left we have ray tracing and on the right we have path tracing, and I can't really see any difference in quality. The only difference I see is that we get a serious performance hit in the FPS, and that's about it. You can see a difference when it's dark and when it's raining, but that almost never happens in the game. So, yeah. Oh my god, did that guy just hit me and then he just ran away? He's not going to get away with that. Let me just... Oh my god, you can't access this car. This sucks. GTA is just so much more fun to play. Let me just kill him and then steal his ride. Oh my god, we got another one. Are you serious? Okay. Get out, you. Get in the back. Okay. So, I also want to add that this game looks very plasticky. Even though this game got a lot of updates, it still isn't that fun to play. I did the first 5 missions again. It's been a while since I've played this game. I've played it when it came out, and I've completed it, and I was very disappointed. But back then the performance was really bad. It's really improved now, and they've added a lot, but there's still a lot of things missing in this game. They've promised a lot of stuff, like simple things that you can find in older GTA games, like the weather, night and day. The city still feels very dead. It doesn't feel alive. I see a lot of pop-ups and weird stuff with characters getting stuck in cars or cars getting stuck into people. So after all those years and the many updates, I've played the 5 first missions again, and I was so disappointed in the graphics and the story, so I just quit and deleted the game. Oh, and do you guys still remember that they've promised that you could change your whole body with cyberware and run on walls, have flying cars, a working subway, and a train? Yeah, that's still all missing in the game. Even some weather changes like rain, mist, it's all missing. Even very old games like GTA 3 and Vice City had that. Speaking of GTA, I've tried GTA 5 again, but the enhanced version, so that's the one with the ray tracing in it. I was very curious to see if my 9070 could handle all of that. So the settings that I've chosen for this game is everything on very high. Even the ray tracing stuff and the global illumination, and that's a bit like path tracing. Yeah, it's all on very high. I was just very curious to see if my 9070 XT could handle all of that. And not that it matters, but I have a 3700X as a CPU. It doesn't really matter when you play in 4K. I play everything on 4K because my PC is connected to my very big OLED TV instead of my old PlayStation 5 that doesn't want to start anymore. So yeah, as you can see, the performance is great, just under 100 FPS. Sometimes it dips to 80, but that's really not that bad considering everything is on very high, and the 9070 XT is not really a high-end card, it's more of a mid-tier card. So you get a lot of performance for your money here. Unlike Nvidia, I'm actually very surprised by the performance. Like if you put upscaling off, so in native 4K, you still get over 60 FPS, which is still amazing. I can't actually believe how well this game performs with all that ray tracing. It's a big city, and it's not only on your own car, it's on every car. So you can see the reflection of the whole city in your car, and you can also see the reflection of your car in other cars, plus everything around you. And you also have that for almost any building with some high gloss glass. It's not on every building, but it's on quite a lot of them. And still, this game performs a lot better than most of the games out there with ray tracing. Let's take Alan Wake 2 for example. Now graphically, this game is very impressive but very heavy to run, and this is the performance that you get on native 4K without any frame gen or upscaling on a 9070 XT. So it's solid 75 FPS, sometimes 85, and you get some reflections in the world, like on glass, cars, puddles, and on the water, but it disappears as soon as you look around. Now, I've also completed this game, and it's more of a tech demo for me. The story was amazing, but the gameplay was so annoying. Okay, upscaling is now on quality mode. FSR 4.1 doesn't work in this game. I've tried it with OptiScaler. It doesn't work. Not that well enough. I had a lot of crashes and ghosting, so I just deleted it. Everything is on high and ray tracing is on low, and the game just crashed. Great.
Don't know, don't care.
Sorry, that was the wrong footage. Probably the one with OptiScaler files still in it. So this is the game in native 4K. without any upscaling or frame generation. Just under 60 FPS. Not bad. Okay, now let's go to the settings and turn ray tracing on low. So that's without any path tracing. And then we get just 30 FPS in native 4K, and as you can see, we got more reflections on the cars and the windows itself. But let's go to the water. As you can see, there's a lot more reflections in it now. You can actually see the boat in the reflection of the water, and also the fences and the mountains. But the FPS is very low, so let's turn it to quality mode. And then we get just under 60 FPS. Yeah, that plays a lot better now. And if we look into the puddles, you can see my partner in it, but the reflection doesn't have a lot of detail. So let's turn ray tracing to medium now. So let's go to the car again, and now you can actually see the window from a distance even if you move around. So we got a lot more accurate reflections, but that's because when you turn ray tracing to medium, path tracing is also activated. But the FPS dropped to 35 again, so now let's put it into performance mode. And then again, we drop just under 60 FPS, but with ray tracing on medium and path tracing on. And now you can see my partner in the puddle is a lot more accurate now. We got a lot more detail on everything. You can also see all the details of the boat in the reflection of the water now. But I don't know if you can see it there in the water. We got also a lot more white noise in it. So yeah, AMD isn't that good with a denoiser, especially with FSR 2. So that's still a problem, and it's not only in water, it's also in reflections of paintings on the wall and some glass. So this game is really heavy to run, and it clearly favors Nvidia. And putting ray tracing too high doesn't really give me a lot more detail to see. So medium and in performance mode, that's the way to go. But if you're in the forest, the FPS drops to under 30. In the city, it's alright, but not in the forest. That's really heavy to run. Even if you have a 5090 RTX, you will need a lot of upscaling and also frame gen to get it to run smoothly. And I think that's just very wasteful. You spend $3,000 on a card, and even that can't run decent path tracing in native 4K in this game. But this game is not really well optimized. It's a tech demo. That's all it is. It's all advertisement for Nvidia. But that's the case with a lot of games. Here we have Spider-Man 2. It doesn't matter which game we take. Most games prefer Nvidia. The engineers actually work together with the game developers to make sure that Nvidia plays a lot better than AMD. So in Spider-Man 2, I've put everything on high also. It's in 4K. And now FSR 3.1 is activated, and ray tracing is also on high. Same for every other setting, and frame generation is off. and the camera effects are all off because I hate motion blur and extra noise. Why would you want that? So this is the performance we get, and I have to say this game looks great and plays great on the 9070 XT from AMD. Yeah, just under 60 FPS. Not bad at all. So now let's try it again, but this time FSR 4.1 is activated. So let's see if it's injected correctly. Yeah, all the settings are still the same. Okay, yeah, in this game it works in the menu. FSR 4.1 is successfully activated, and now the FPS is higher, as you can see, and also everything is a bit sharper and cleaner. So it's a very good update. So let's do the same test. Let's go around here and let's swing some web. Yeah, this time the FPS stays above 60. Now it is higher when I don't use MSI Afterburner and also don't record the game. Then I'm probably around between 70 and 80 FPS. Okay, here's another very heavy game to run with ray tracing. Indiana Jones. It's running in 4K as in all my games, and the settings are all set to high, and upscaling is off, and frame generation doesn't work in this game. When I turn it on, it just crashes. And as you can see, this game runs great on my 9070 XT, just under 100 FPS with no ray tracing or frame generation or upscaling. This is all in native 4K, so the card performs great. Okay, so now let's turn on ray tracing, starting with the lowest setting, and it's just under 60 FPS in native 4K, so not bad at all. We don't have any reflections yet. It's just the light that's ray traced now. And I have to say, I don't really see any difference. Let's go back to settings and turn it off. I want to see the difference. Yeah, I don't really see any difference in the light itself. Can I see it when I leave the menu on? Oh yes, I can see it now on the floor. It's the effect of the shadows with the light. So that's the only difference on the floor. Okay, so not a big difference in graphics for a 30 FPS hit. So now let's turn ray tracing to high. Then it's sunlight with reflections, but still no full ray tracing with path tracing enabled. So this is what we get. It's 25 FPS in native 4K with ray tracing and reflections on. So now let's turn on FSR, and I believe it's FSR 3.1 in this game. I tried to inject FSR 4.1, but it didn't work because this game doesn't use DirectX 12 It's Vulkan, and it doesn't work with that engine. Too bad. But now we get around 45 FPS with upscaling to quality, and I see some noise in the light here on the floor, and we do get some reflections in the windows, so you can see everything what's behind you in the glass, but I don't see myself in the glass like in the game Control or GTA 5, and those games are much older. So let's turn ray tracing all the way up. Full ray tracing with global illumination, path tracing, reflections. Now it's all activated. And now we get just over 30 FPS. Still playable. And we do get a bit more reflections and the light is a bit more accurate. So are the shadows. But do you really notice that? I don't know. The FPS is something you notice a lot more than all this stuff. So let's turn it up to performance mode now with the upscaler, and then it's just under 60 FPS, so that's playable. But we do get more noise, and also it's not as sharp looking now. So honestly, what I would do is just turn all that ray tracing stuff off. There aren't that many locations with a lot of glass like in the first level here. Most of the time is spent outside in the jungle. So yeah, just turn everything off. And I put it in native 4K, no upscaling, no frame generation, no ray tracing, everything off. And then we get 100 FPS. And now everything will look a lot sharper. Look at the face now. See the difference? That's a lot better to play now. You get smooth FPS, everything is crisp and clear and sharp, and the game still looks great.